Hello everybody, my name is Joshua Winkins and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to show you guys how to color grade on Final Cut Pro. Now I'm using the Panasonic G7 to film all my videos, so the colors aren't like amazingly accurate, they're not going to be super like perfect, but I just use a flat picture profile on the Panasonic G7 and I'm going to go ahead and flash that image up on the screen. So if you want to completely copy my process and you're using a Panasonic G7, make sure your camera has those appropriate settings. Now, this is what my image looks like without any color grading, and now this is what my image looks like with color grading. Now, a couple of things, a couple of disclaimers before we continue this video. I'm in no way a professional colorist. This video is for beginners, and this is for people who kind of just want to up their color grading game. They just want to make that step up from beginners to just kind of like average, but not like super professional colorists. And another thing to keep in mind is that even though this image looks really bright, because this display is Retina 4K, it looks really bright, and if I put it on an iPhone or any screen that's not Retina or 4K, it's just not going to look as bright. So that's something you always got to keep in mind, is what display are you editing on. If it's a super bright display, you have to make it a little bit brighter than you think, or else on some of these older displays it's just not going to look that good. So let's go ahead and head over to here. Now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click on Window, go to Workspace, and then click on Color and Effects. Once you're in Color and Effects, you want to go ahead, click View, and then you want to click this little button right here. Go ahead, click Waveform and RGB Overlay. Let me go ahead and explain a couple of things. This is the most important thing to understand. Now, this completely matches your actual image. That's why it's super orange right here. It's matching these lights and that candle right there. As you can see, if I go ahead and switch over to here, see this, it's a little orange just because I personally like a little bit of an orange and warmer color, but as you can see, this is a lot brighter. As you can see right here, see it's a lot lower, and that's just something you have to be very aware of. As you can see, that means this image is a very dark image. What you want to go ahead and do is go over to here. See this colorful triangle right here? Click on here, then go on to plus color wheel. Go on color wheels, and as you can see here, here's the main thing you need to be aware of. Master, this just brings the brightest parts of your image, or you can make it super dark. That's just the master switch. Pretty self-explanatory what a master switch does. Now over here, here's a different temperature, so cooler and a warmer look to your image. And then highlights, again, this is the brightest parts of your image. Shadows tend to be the darkest parts. And then midtones, you can see that the background kind of looks a little bit darker. So what you want to be aware of, as you can see right here, see this little white zero line. This little white zero line, and as you can see right here, you want to make sure that, as you can see right here, let's say I bring the shadows low. See, this starts getting like below 0, or 0, 1. You do not want to go below 0. That means your image is too dark. Right here, if I bring the highlights, if I bring them up too high, and even that's my image is still pretty dark. But you can see right here, see if I start bringing, oops, messed up a little bit there. See if I start, as you can see, if I bring it up way too high, it's just so bright. But as you can see right here, see the brightest parts of the image are above 100. So as confusing as that all was, here's the bottom line. You do not want any part of your image to be below 0, below here, or the brightest parts of your image to be above 100. As you can see right here, see my thing is between like 50 and 100. What you want to do is you want to go ahead, bring up your highlights, and then bring them up, I would say, to about, as you can see, 50 or 75 tends to be the sweet spot for the brightness of your image. You definitely want your image to be a little bright. You don't want it to be too underexposed, but it's hard to find that balance between underexposed and overexposed because you do not want to go into either one of those extremes. So I tend to bring the highlights up a little bit just to make the image look a little bit brighter. Then what I tend to do is I like to bring the midtones down a little bit just to make the background look a little bit darker, and it kind of creates that depth of field. What I'll also do is I'll also bring the temperature to like 6,000 just to make the image look a lot warmer. As you can see right here, go ahead over to color wheel. As you can see, the temperature is brought up a little bit. So as you can see, I've brightened the image, I've turned down the midtones a little bit, and then I've made the image a little bit warmer. Could be a little more. Again, the most important thing to understand is I'm not a professional colorist, and the look depends on, it's all personal preference. So you may think it looks too bright, you may think it looks a little too orange, but I personally like that orange look. It's all a personal preference when you're just beginning. Even some movies, it just doesn't look good because it's all a personal preference. What you also want to go ahead and do is head over to color curves. Now, when you're going to go ahead, click on this, the red, and you can see you can go a little bit to orange. Now, what I like to do, I don't think everybody does this, but I like to add a little bit. As you can see, the image is a little bit warmer. I personally like to make the image a lot warmer. That's just my personal preference. I like to add a little bit of a hue. Now, obviously, you don't want to go into the extremes. You can turn it a little bit orange, but you don't want it to be too orange, because then it will start like changing the color of white, the white color, the green. You don't want to mess with the colors, and that's why I don't think it's highly recommended. But I personally do that a little bit just because my skin is ridiculously white and pale, so I kind of like to make my skin look a little bit warmer than it actually is. Then we'll also have the Panasonic G7, so again, the colors are not going to be like super accurate. And then that's basically just how I do it. I just add the color curves, add a little bit of an orange hue. Then I'll go ahead and bring up the highlights a little bit, bring down the midtones, change the temperature a little bit, make sure this doesn't go above 100 or below 0. That's a really important thing to understand. Let's go ahead and go to Windows Workspaces, go back to default, and then go ahead and bring the clip once again. Try to find a good, it's always difficult to find. I'll just use this frame as an example. What you want to go ahead and do is you can also create your own presets. As you can see right here, it says Save Effects Presets. You can basically create your own LUTs, and this is how you create LUTs. So after you save it, go ahead, head over to the effects panel. As you can see, color. See, this is camera bag. This one says G7 high. Like, these are all just different, cause you can see right here, different color grades. So let's go ahead, head over to here, and as you can go ahead and see, I've created my own LUTs. Now I can go ahead, and this just doesn't look that good, but I can go ahead and maybe I'll add this, that looks a lot better. Just drag it onto there, and now boom, look. There's a complete ugly flat profile picture, but with a little bit of presets, boom, it looks a lot better. So it's all kind of your personal preference. I'm in no way saying I'm a professional colorist. I'm in no way saying my videos and my color grading is absolutely amazing. But to me personally, I think this image looks a lot better than that image. That's just my personal preference. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you found this video incredibly helpful. Anyways guys, hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found it really helpful. If you still want more questions answered about Final Cut Pro, go ahead and comment them down below. Make sure to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, it'll be greatly appreciated. And I'm giving away a Google Home Mini once I reach 1,000 subscribers. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys in the next one. Peace!